Yeah, so welcome from the opensource.construction organization. So we're here to just give you a bit of an introduction to who we are, what we are doing, what's the plan for 25 basically is. And this is our core team. Of course, you know Max. Unfortunately, he is not here today to present with us. He got sick. But otherwise, we have Vincent, we have Carol, we have Torben, we have Felix, and they are basically from the big group of Swiss people we have in the core team. Then I and Ryan are located in Copenhagen, and we have Yasha in Munich, and we have Karim in London. And the whole kind of point of open source construction is that we want to make code-based collaboration successful and support the community and basically raise awareness about open source in the construction industry. And the idea that we have these three elements that go around in a spiral. We have the users, everyone who uses projects, software in the construction industry, and they kind of form an ecosystem, and the ecosystem kind of revolves around them. And that kind of ecosystem arises the need for more software and kind of motivates developers to build new software, new products, and then that encourages more users to use that, creates a bigger ecosystem, creates more developers. So the whole idea is that kind of it gets the flywheel spinning and kind of hopefully grows the all three aspects. And until now, we have hopefully inspired a lot of people to be interested in this topic, to be interested in open source in the construction industry. We have hosted around 10 events in the past, and most notably the free hackathons, where this is one of them. Currently, Open Source Construction is an association founded here in Switzerland, and we have raised basically around 120,000 francs to make this operation run the hackathons. Make sure that you're happy and get food and beer and mate and so on, right? And then the idea is really to be this kind of the focal point between organization and people and to connect them. Yes. This is just a few pictures from last year to say that these hackathons that we have made, the one in Zurich in last year, and we had one in November in Munich, was one of the kind of big achievements or big successes for the organization. Yeah.
I think more participants now than last time, so it's growing.
And I think it's quite amazing that we had for two, like basically for 3 events, like more than 150 participants in each, right? So it's really great the job the guys have been doing. And just like a little bit about us. So as I said, there is an association called Open Source Construction. But basically, the core team, us, is we are meeting every second week. Have an online meeting talking about what should we do, and that's also a little bit why we're here today. Like we want to maybe hear some ideas from you, like what is kind of what direction should we go in, what should we push for. Yeah. Carol?
Yep. So now I should talk in this device. Yeah. So I think what is very important was one of the reasons why I also myself got involved in open source construction, not only through Max and the others, but also because I think the open source logic and open source mindset has started to become quite ingrained and also standard, an important part of industry software. And I think if you think about 10, 15 years or 20 years ago, like it was, I think, still quite unheard of to have, let's say, open source software running in certain enterprises. And I think today, if you see how much open source foundations there are, and many more, of course, you see that this is also becoming more and more a standard operating way or operating model for open source movements and open source networks. And I mean, I think for us or for open source construction, it's important to on the one hand have a stable amount of events, of community that grows, and of sufficient exchange that we have through the events or projects that we do, and we'll come a bit to that later as well. But also to make sure that we have something that sort of governs or oversees, and also make sure that this organization sort of goes on going forward. And that's a little bit. Let's say one of the ideas is to come also up or to set up also a foundation in that way that can actually work and exist to do exactly that. So keep this movement going, but also to make sure that people can meet. That's on the one hand through the events, but also that we can really get more specific projects in the AECO industries going. Because I think today and also the other hackathons, it's always a great start and a lot of things happen, a lot of energy gets moved, but it's important that that keeps moving also, I think we always say as of next Monday, but also going forward, right? So the idea is to set that up and to not only focus on the project marketplace that you can now find on the website, by the way, where we publish, I think now 6-7 projects approximately, from various subgroups or various developers on open source or examples of open source. Also moving more to clusters where we can really create sort of a space or a safe space for neutral collaboration and this open source collaboration around certain topics, which could be decarbonization, LCA, it could be planning focused software, it can be modular, industrialized construction, computational solutions, etc., etc. And that's basically something we're trying to set up. But as said, we're also really happy to get your feedback there, and also what could be good topics and what also motivates you and what motivates also, the topics or projects you work on. Do you want to take over? Keep it the right way. Yeah?
Yes. Okay.
Great job.
So to come back a bit from kind of the potential future direction, so that's kind of what we are exploring, both on the project side and on the foundation side. As you can see, it's still quite a small team and a small group, and also a small community. So that's more about how can we grow and help others to do their projects and make them happen. But on our side, we will continue, and that's also kind of our current philosophy, to keep things as lean as possible. That's why it's a nonprofit. It's kind of really simple, and we try to keep things as simple as possible. And also, it's a very loose group. But that should always inspire us to make sure that contributing is easy and fun, right? Like you see in the events. But the future is meant to be, okay, how can we scale this? So that's why we have this session as well, to kind of understand, okay, what does it take? Does it take an actual structure, or is what we do already fine? And, just continue doing that and it's all good. Or there's even things that should be changed about that. So what do we do in 2025 concretely? So the things that are already on the agenda is we will have a general assembly for the association. I mean, that's a bit of an admin part, but we will try to have an event around March where everyone is invited, where we can formalize the association bits, but also get to know some of the members, etc. And then we will want to push the foundation and cluster idea depending on feedback and input, and that's all of you and everyone who listens later. But there's also more events. So, for instance, Christian is in setting up a Copenhagen event. There's other local events that we have on the plan, but they're not yet final, so they will be published once that's the case. Same for the hackathons. So we are tracking the next edition of this one, etc. But we are also looking for others who want to run hackathons. So it's not a direct call, but we are interested in hearing if someone wants to run one. And we think we now have a bit of a setup to make that happen if a bit of support is needed to help you do that. Yeah, but with that, we are already at the questions. So this was a very quick run through. Feel free to ask any questions about what we do and how we do it. But otherwise, we are very interested in hearing what should we do, how can we help. Yeah. Any thoughts? Now's the time. Yeah.
Yes, so the association is a Swiss association?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny. It's the most European hackathon event, and it's in Switzerland. That's great. We took a neutral.
Yeah.
It's the common ground for.
Yeah.
I mean, it obviously has a historic, I mean, it has like a bit of a historic reason in the last 1-2 years, especially because Max invests a lot of time in there and is based in Zurich. So it also makes, so it also makes a bit of sense. But I mean, I think that still makes sense to have a Swiss foundation, but there's, that could also change. I mean, we want to be truly European. I'm myself from the Netherlands, so I will be the last one to claim that we shouldn't be more European. So I think European at heart, but based, but on paper in Switzerland.
Yes. I mean, now we were in Munich for the last hackathon in November, so that was great. And then you are doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's in Copenhagen. That's also in the EU. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you have other thoughts? Or yeah, please, Milovan. Yes.
Do you make connection with the Blocks Hub?
Yeah, so there's a hackathon coming in the end of February, but we are not really involved in that hack. That's just the Blocks Hub. They are organizing that.
Will you maybe make more connection with Blocks Hub?
That could be an idea that to do that. I think like Damon, who presented it last year, like yesterday, they are also coming to Blocks Hub. So there's definitely some overlap there. Yeah, so we'll try.
Do we have other topics or stuff to address, like with this hackathon as well, like things to improve? I don't know. It's still going on, but we're very open. I guess then. But please feel free to.
Anyone wants to host hackathon?
Yes, that's the main question. And otherwise, feel free to contact us. Yeah, I mean, on this Discord, our emails on the website. We should be
around
now. Yes, please grab a mate and we we talk with each other. Yeah, or at dinner. Yes, exactly. And then otherwise, we are very thankful that you, for your interest, that you attended these tech talks, the hackathon itself. And I mean, it's not far from over. Perhaps some of you do nightly hours today. No, please not. Just that it'd be worth. And then tomorrow we have the last sprint, and then in the afternoon the presentations from the projects that you worked on. So. Viciously. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think then.
That's
Thank you very much. Yes, we see
you
you around. Thank you very much. Keep the energy.